You know, I brought this out for the babies. Don't care. It's mine. My castle. Here's a little invader. Hi, little boy. So you're playing the Tyrannical Queen. Nice. Hi. So James gonna be mowing the grass today because it's getting a little long. But that might be fun to let the little babies run around in it for a few minutes. She's just getting swallowed up in it.
Good morning and welcome back to City Sowers. Today is a big day. First of all, we are going to actually mow this grass. It's new grass, so we anticipated originally waiting about 2 months. Then we did a little bit of research, and the fact is every climate grows that grass differently, and they said once it gets to about 4 to 6 inches, it should have already been mowed. Now I'm just going to show you what length we're at right now. So that's not all the way down the bottom, but that's about the length of some of the longer blades, and even longer if I go all the way down to the ground. We've got some rather lengthy grass, so I guess it's overdue. Now technically you're not supposed to ever cut more than 2/3 of the blade off. You're supposed to only cut 1/3, but it's too long now. So I'm gonna set this lawnmower on the highest setting, and I'm going to cut the entire grass down to that height. We'll take a look at how high it is, and I may give it a couple days and then mow it again at a little bit lower. We want to get down to about 3.5 inches. We're still not gonna open the fencing up because we want to make sure it gets really well set up. The roots are good, and the establishment is totally done before we let children, goats, chickens, dads, moms, neighbors, whatever, on the grass. So you'll get to see the first cut, probably super sped up because grass cutting is not super exciting. And then I think we even have some film of baby goats running around. So we might even let them go in here. Actually, I think Amanda already did. But then we'll let them go on the freshly cut grass and see if they enjoy it just as much. One more thing to add, that gate, this goes back to the planning. I don't know if you remember when we finished putting up the fence, how we high-fived, shook hands, well, job well done, and then realized the toter was in the middle of the fencing area, and that gate, not big enough to get a garbage can through. It's also not big enough to get, a lawnmower through. So
One moment. Jane is totally using that fence
Japanese food.
to eat my Japanese maple tree.
She's a fan of Japanese food. What is this, Tokyo Express? Wow.
I don't weigh as much anymore. I can reach.
Poor brain. All right, we're gonna cut some grass. Ready?
Rawr.
Victory! That's it. All right, well, that was a team effort getting that lawnmower in and out of there. Note to self, future gates must be this wide. Obviously, as you look out here now, you can see there are some high spots on this grass where just as I mowed, 8-9 inches of grass blade fall down and it kind of pushes down others. And so the wheels are gonna do that. It's a first cutting. I don't want to stress it too much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait a few days and then I'm gonna go over it again, same height. It may end up cutting obviously the grass if it grows this much that's already been cut. Not super worried about that, but I do want to make that taller grass be cut down to a healthy height and get it all in the same cutting schedule. I suppose that's somewhat normal with grass, except you don't usually let it go quite that high. If we're expecting a little more rain, if it's looking like it's kind of preposterous to wait that long, I'll make them out with a weed whacker and then just rake it again. One thing I did do, and you might have noticed, is I went ahead and raked up all those spaces that I could see anyway, that are either, when you cut grass that's super long, it mulches up into like wet balls. So I want to rake all that up so it's not sitting on top of the other grass and taking away sunlight, pushing down, killing it. Otherwise it turns yellow and you get a bald spot, right? So I did that. Then I went ahead and raked all the tracks from the wheels of the lawnmower to make sure that grass stands back up so it can air out. You don't want to have it rot standing or rot laying down and block other grass, otherwise you're kind of back where you started. Fresh grass is very fragile. I'm also not going to put any kind of miracle grow or any kind of chemicals on this, at least until I've put it like 3 times or cut it 3 times. You don't want to do any kind of lawn products like that. From my understanding, there's food and stuff you could put on it, but it's still fragile, so you don't want to cook it. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing some goats. We were talking about it. I don't know if you can see my hands. I don't necessarily think it's a good look to have goats covered in green, so we may not have them run around in there. But Audrey and Caleb, you can see they're playing with them, and the babies will run around here. We'll get some shots of that, because let's be honest, everyone wants to see baby goats running. Well, it is the next day. We got done mowing, and I walked out and I had green hands and green feet, and I was like, I don't know if we necessarily want to have green babies. St. Patrick's Day was last month. So anyway, we're gonna, it rained overnight pretty good, and we're gonna now let the babies run around the grass this morning. Say hi, Colonel. Hi.
What do you guys think? It's not taller than you anymore. Oh, it's wet. Because it rained last night.
Oh, there we go.
There's wood chips to eat. Eleanor. They have no appreciation for the lawn. Oh, well, hi.
So the babies apparently don't have much appreciation for all the hard work. and time that we've put into this lawn. But they haven't known it. They haven't even known the yard without grass, so can't really blame them. But they are so cute.
They are about the most adorable thing ever. Anyway, glad you got to enjoy the first cutting. I mean, it's pretty mangled still. It looks like I took a machete to it rather than a lawnmower. But what do you think? You want to get done? Anyway, we'll keep you posted as the progress continues. Oh look, he's trying to come back in. Now he wants into the grass.
Thank you so much for watching, you guys. This is your urban nerd with a goat herd.
And a goat baby.
And baby goat herd.
Baby goat herd.
Anyway.
And her baby.
You can grow where you're planted.
Even if it's grass in the backyard?
Even if it's grass in the backyard.
Even if it grows tall in some places and... Yeah, go grow.
She's like, I get breakfast.